Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to use the Dangerous Liaison in a mastering environment. As a standalone unit, the Liaison can be used as your transfer console. What's a transfer console? Well, in mastering terms, a transfer console is the piece of gear that sits in between your player and your recorder. The way it works is you have a player that plays your mixes unprocessed. You feed it into the transfer console. That's where all your inserts and your outboard stays. And then the output of the console goes back into your recorder. With the Liaison, for example, and a Pro Tools rig or a Logic rig, what you would do is you would feed the output of your DAW, D2A, into the Liaison. All your outboard sits on the 6 inserts of the Liaison. The output of the Liaison goes to your A to D back into your DAW. Player, transfer, recorder. DAW, Liaison, DAW. That's it. It's very simple. Let me show you. The first step is to do a little sweetening on the existing track. Let's do that. So my Neumann is on insert 5, and that's what I use for sweetening because that's what it's been designed to do. My player, which is the output of my DAW, is fed to bus A. I activate insert 5 on bus A, play music, listen, sweeten, make it go. It's a little thin. That's nice. Too much. You could use some super lows. That bass drum, maybe lower, okay, and you could open up on top a little, so flat, with, I dig this. Okay, so that would be the first step. I'm happy with this, I like this new tone, but I feel like I should do some compression, maybe with the Fatso, maybe some parallel compression. My problem is that the Fatso is on insert 1, which is before insert 5, and I really want to use this tone as my starter point. And that's not possible because the Fatso is before. That's where the new tricks come in. A good way to work with the Liaison in standalone mode is to actually feed the output of bus A into the input of bus B. I'll repeat. Feed the output of bus A into the input of bus B. Why would you want to do that? Because now, since the output of bus A is into bus B, if I press 1, the signal goes A, goes through the Neumann, then goes into B, and now it's going through the Fatso after the Neumann. Doing this allows you to reverse the laws of physics and have number 1 be after number 4 or 5. Isn't that wonderful? So that's a good thing to do if you want to be able to have complete flexibility on the order of your inserts. So on the patch bay, what we've been working with looks like this. This is the output of the DAW, my player, feeding into Liaison A, down here. The output of Liaison A feeding back into my recorder, which is also my DAW. To do the daisy chain trick, I'm going to remove the output of A, use a different color cable so it's more visual. The output of A would feed into Liaison B, like this. And then the output of B would be fed into my recorder. There you go. Player, A into B, B into recorder. Let me show you what I would do now with my Fatso as parallel processing onto this track. First, I'm going to listen to it in line. A little bit crushed, maybe a little more. Okay, I like that. Now I'm going to put the Fatso in the parallel processing loop. To do so, since it's on insert 1 and the input to the parallel processing loop is on 2, I'm going to flip 1 and 2 and then hit the blue button. The Fatso is now in parallel processing. I'm going to use the knob here to tuck that crushed signal a little bit under the clean signal, like this. That's nice. Makes sense. The next step would be to store this into preset 1 so that I can clear the stage, listen with no processing, and then hit preset, recall it, and hear with the whole thing. First processed, and then I'll clear it. Hopefully you'll hear a difference. Fair enough, we're making progress, but I have a problem. The mastered signal is much louder than the mixed signal, which seems to be the new principle of mastering these days. Yet, I'm not happy with that because I want to make sure that what I'm doing is an actual enhancement on the mix. As long as the master signal is going to be louder than the mix signal, I'm most likely going to like the louder one better. It's a human thing. On the Liaison, the designers have had the good taste of giving you monitoring points. And they are pre-A, post-A, pre-B, and post-B. There's a D-sub in the back. One cable gives you those 8 points. What's the point of that? Well, if you listen pre-bus A, you're listening before any processing. And then you listen post-bus A, you're listening to only what bus A did. And then you can listen all the way to post B, and you're listening to the whole chain. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to monitor pre-A, post-B. So you'll be able to compare the raw signal with the final process signal. The nice trick is on a monitoring section like the Dangerous Monitor ST, there's an offset on input 4. What does that mean? It means that I can feed pre-bus A to, say, input 1 of the monitoring section, and post-bus B, which is the loud signal, the master signal, to input 4 of the monitor ST. And with the offset on input 4, I can take the loud signal down. I can now compare pre and post with a pad on the post, which allows me to listen at the same level, and that will let me know if I'm kidding myself or actually making progress. Isn't that wonderful? Let me show you. For the monitoring, this is how it looks on the patch bay. Pre-A, I'm feeding it to my ST1, and post-B, down here, I'm feeding into my ST4. Et voila! Now that we've patched the monitoring system, let's listen to what we were working with. This is the mastered signal. And this is the mix. Much quieter, right? So the trick now is to go back to input 4 and pad that, bring it down in level so that we can match levels with the unprocessed signal and really hear what we've done with the tone of it, not just the level. So I'm switching back to 4, and I'm going to take that level down on the front of the ST. For those of you who are not familiar with it, this is the front of an ST, and this is the offset button for input 4. So right now it's wherever it was left last time. That's how I've been working. Obviously it's too loud. I'm just going to take it down and guess where it should be. I would guess it's about here. Let's listen. Mastered. Unmastered. Mastered. Unmastered. So that felt a lot more subtle than it did when the levels were mismatched, and that's the key in this particular setup. Between the inserts, the daisy chaining of the two buses, and the insert points, you can really build a high-quality mastering rig with just a Liaison and a good monitor section like the Dangerous Monitor ST. I think that's pretty cool.